Lincoln Legends, Lore and Lagniappe presented by your Lincoln Parish Museum and Historical Society, celebrating 50 years of community support. Enjoy as our museum director, Rick Godley, takes the time to capture the stories of life in Lincoln Parish from the characters of Lincoln Parish. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Godley alongside Brandon Sutherland here at the Lincoln Parish Museum, getting ready for Peach Fest 2025, the 75th annual Peach Festival, and we've been collaborating with the Ruston Lincoln CVB, experienceruston.com, in collecting Peach Festival memorabilia and the history of the Peach Festival here in Ruston, Louisiana. And so we get pieces and parts, and we're going to have a display the month of June. So we have posters, we have t-shirt collection, we have some knickknacks, and over our shoulder, you're seeing the 1960, the mantle, and this is Linda Civil's book, The History of the Louisiana Peach Festival Pageant. And over my shoulder here, we also have the original tiara from the Princess Peach from 1952. Well, this is Friday afternoon. I get a phone call, and Brandon says, Rick, I have a piece, and I know Brandon from going for the world's largest peach cobbler. Was that right?
Yep.
And just yesterday, I pulled out of the upstairs room this, which is a pretty heavy too.
I think that's it.
Oh, wait a second. We'll get to the peach cobbler and then put it up in the hallway. Well, Brandon calls, and why don't you take the story from there, Mr. Brandon Sutherland?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was kind of looking at all the Peach Festival stuff and seeing what was coming on, and I saw that you guys were having an exhibit, and I was sitting in my office and looked behind me, and I had this sitting up there on the shelf, and I said, you know what, that might want to have that at the exhibit. So reached out to Mr. Godley here and offered it to him. And
well, what is this? And then
yeah. So this is the official certificate that we received from the world's largest. So they call it a fruit cobbler. They didn't call it a peach cobbler. So if you ever Google it, you want to say the world's largest fruit cobbler, but it was a peach cobbler. But this came from the Guinness Book of World Records. And so they put Hampton Inn of Ruston, and of course, they put my name on there.
Well, Brandon Sutherland, sure, you had some help on there, but I mean, and I think I've interviewed you in years past.
Yeah.
This idea literally popped out of the light bulb of your head, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say.
Take us back to when did that click go on, and then take us through. The first person you told that to said what?
Yeah. Yeah, we were sitting in the office. Peach Festival's coming up. I always get jazzed up around Peach Festival time. You know, I always like to volunteer and help out any way I can. And I was thinking ways that we could be involved in the Peach Festival. And I don't know what came over me, but I thought, hey, what if we did something really big this year? It was the 65th anniversary. So we were like, this is a big time to do it. We started talking about Guinness World Records, and they said, hey, let's see if we can't do a Guinness World Record for world's largest peach cobbler. So I went in, we were at the Hampton Inn, went into the GM, Ronnie Rawls, went to his office and said, hey, what if we did the world's largest peach cobbler? And one thing led to another, and then the last weekend in June in 2015, we were putting together a 2,251-pound peach cobbler in the middle of downtown Ruston.
We're going to get to that drama. It was almost like the Steve McQueen's of the Blob took over Park Avenue. But I want to go back because I'm getting a flashback, and this is what's good about history or telling stories of history. It triggers. This wasn't your first off-the-wall idea. Wasn't there some kind of fictitious character the year before, or was that the year after?
That was the year after.
Oh, it was. Okay.
That was the year after. So the next year, they were like, well, you broke a Guinness World Record. What are you going to do this year? And so we got to thinking about it, like, okay, well, we had a 2,000-pound peach cobbler last year. What would happen next? And the idea was, well, somebody would have to eat the peach cobbler. So we went down this whole rabbit hole of, hey, what if there was this character called the Cobbler Gobbler, and he really liked peach cobbler, and he knew of somewhere that there was a 2,000-pound peach cobbler that had been frozen somewhere, and he wanted to challenge people to a peach cobbler eating competition. And so The hotel actually put up $1,000 reward for whoever could eat the peach cobbler the fastest. We had people come in from all
California, if I remember as well.
we had some flying from California. We had some come in from Carolina. It got out of hand quick.
Professional eaters we're talking about, not almost on the Nathan hot dog scale, right?
That was where it was going.
That's exactly where it was going. All right, so that was after that, and you did not a bad follow-up to the world's Guinness Book of World Records largest cobbler. All right, morning of, well, what can you remember as far as who jumped on board? Because this isn't a one-person operation.
It's not.
And we're talking from the cinder blocks to actually heating to cooking to mixing.
Yeah, it was, it was one of those things where, okay, here's the task that we want to accomplish. And it was that Ruston thing where everybody just says, hey, well, I got this, or hey, we can do this. The engineering department over at Louisiana Tech helped design the big pan. The welding department over at Louisiana Delta, they welded the pan together. We had, I believe it was some Imperial Sugar. They donated sugar. Super One donated peaches and flour, and Lowe's donated cookers. Ruston Brick donated the brick. I mean, it was left and right. We had stuff coming in, and I remember we began cooking. It was around, we got together about 7:00 the night before, and we went all night long. About 3:30 in the morning. This is some behind the scenes stuff here. We don't really talk much about. About 3:30 in the morning.
Statute of limitations is up.
About 3:30 in the morning, we turned the propane on, and we had a propane leak. We were set up right next to the fire department, so that, we were like, we're okay. But 3:30 in the morning, we had a propane leak. So we run to Walmart, we get some stuff together, and say, maybe this will fix it. Well, that didn't fix the propane leak. So luckily, we had Chris Turner there with us, who knew people at the time, and it still does.
He still does.
Yeah. He called Mark Johnson at 3:30 in the morning, and Mark came out there in his van and fixed a propane leak for us out in the middle of Ruston next to this big pan.
I want to go through that phone call.
Yeah.
Hello, Mark. Yeah, this is Chris Turner. Yeah, well, Chris, it's 3:30 in the morning. What's up?
Yeah.
You want what? For what? It had to go like that, right?
It was something like that. I don't know what he said or how he pulled that off, but yeah, he got Mark downtown, and we had it going.
All right. So there was criteria. This had to be certified, bona fide, vilified. But you had this guy, and I remember him from England.
Yes.
And I think he had a really jolly good time here in Ruston.
Oh man, he definitely was out of his ordinary. He came in. He was a Guinness World Record employee, I guess.
Yeah, that's his job. How do you get that job?
I know, right? He had the official blue jacket. We took him to supper the night before, and I always tell people that was the most interesting dinner I've ever had, because he pulled out his phone at the time, was going through and showing us all this Guinness World Records he went and judged, and it was really, really neat to be able to meet him and have him here in Ruston to kind of show him around the Peach Festival.
All right, some of the criteria, if I remember, because this all took place on Park Avenue, and there was a little bit of a concern there, and I don't know if the hazmat people were called out, but you had to move the thing, right? And this thing was, how big was the pan, and how many people it had to take to move it a little bit?
Yeah, so the pan was 9 foot by 12 foot, and if I remember correctly, we got a crane. The city of Ruston brought a crane out, and
you want us to do what?
Yeah.
For what?
We had a lot of interesting phone calls during this time, we had a big crane that lifted it had to go, it was like 4 or 5 feet, because it had to come up off the burners, and it had to move over and go down onto the official scales.
Right.
And so there was a good 5-6 minutes there where we were holding our breath. So one thing about when you work with fluid,
Oh yeah,
once it starts going one way, it's really hard to stop it from keeping it going. And
so we got it, and another criteria that I do remember, because I literally did taste it, that it had to be edible to qualify.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, we had just pulled it off the cooker probably 20-30 minutes before, and he's like, we got to eat it. And so kind of got everybody around. We didn't realize how hot that joker was. So the Guinness World Record guy got a big spoonful and took a bite of it. And it was I don't think he was able to taste for a couple weeks after that, but He said it was edible, so we were good.
So 2015, it is the almost the year that the Peach Cobbler gobbled up Park Avenue because of that hoisting, but a successful mission. And I know you had plenty left over, and it was all free for everybody, but I don't think everybody ate it all, correct? Where did the remains go?
That is a great question.
Is it still out there somewhere?
Somewhere. We ate very large portion of it.
Okay.
So it was free cobbler throughout the entire day.
Right.
So we had people it was a steady line of people getting peach cobbler. About 3 or 4 o'clock, I'd been up all night. I started getting a little delirious, and I kind of cut out for a little bit. And when I came back, it was gone. So I didn't ask any questions.
There you go. Awesome job. Brandon Sutherland, why don't you read that for us? As this will be on display, by the way, for the whole month of June, of all the peach artifacts that we gather here at the museum. So let me ask, is this on loan, or are you going to give it to the museum? Totally up to you.
Put me on the spot, right?
Well,
Let's loan it for now. We'll see what happens.
Loan it is fine. Loan it is fine. No,
This is like, I want to make this like a necklace.
There you go. There you go.
No, this is it's a official Guinness World Record. The largest fruit cobbler weighs 1,021 kilograms, which is 2,251 pounds, and was made by the Hampton Inn of Ruston with the help of Brandon Sutherland for the 65th annual Louisiana Peach Festival in Ruston, Louisiana, USA, on the 27th of June, 2015.
2015.
Yep.
Official amazing seal is on there as well.
Amazing.
So come see it for the month of June, as it's temporarily here at the museum, and that is fine, perfectly fine, Brandon. I appreciate you, and let's see what else this spurns. I mean, what made you? I know you said it. You were just scrolling through and said, you know what? I got something that needs to go. That's great, and that's awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're I'm glad to have it and let you guys.
All right. Happy Peach Fest, man.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. It's the best week of the year.
There you go.
Thank you for watching Lincoln Legends Lore and Lagniappe, presented by your Lincoln Parish Museum and Historical Society, celebrating 50 years of community support. Please follow us on Facebook for all future events as we celebrate our 50th anniversary this year. Thank you once again for your contributions of support. This has been a Godleyworks for Nonprofits production in association with Rick Godley's ATL Features. ATL stands for All Things Local. ATL also stands for All Things Lincoln.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Good night.